Hello, sunshine. I'm Osiris, like the Egyptian god. You're watching The Osiris Show. Thank you once again for joining me on another episode this week. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate anybody who's watching and giving it like the time of day to just like click, listen, watch. Hopefully you learn something, and if you're finding me, hopefully you stick around. And I really welcome you and to just like go along with me on this journey. And I am forever like grateful and just full of gratitude for how patient you guys are being with me, because this is a work in progress. So I had another not that you guys know, because you guys you like, I'm doing this to like, I guess, like feel for me, but you guys don't really know like how I'm dropping these. But I actually have like given myself a list of like how I am going to be dropping the episodes and how I want them to be, whatever. But I just been having such a like rough couple of days lately, and I've been going through like some, I don't even know how to put this into words so much, but I've been like out of my own like psyche in a way, and I've been feeling really like, and I think this is what happens when you go through you push yourself through the threshold, and you're allowing yourself to really put yourself out there. You start to get these like thoughts in your head about like, oh my god, like what is this for? Like I don't know, like I've been feeling like really like a little bit useless and stupid, and like, why am I doing this? Like I'm 30 and I'm like here like creating a YouTube channel and a show, and I wanted to do this. I have a calling, like I felt like God is putting me in this way, and I think that He put me in this way because I wanted to find a purpose. And the thing is that I've been feeling such a like a random like burnout, and I don't, and I just don't want to feel like this is like a chore for me, because it's not. I enjoy it, and when I come here and I press play and will record, I feel like a sense of myself lately, and it's great. And sometimes I'm able to like unload or unpack. I do get some ideas, but when I am not dedicating time and I'm not pressing record, I really get in my head. Or like I get in my head because I am giving myself expectations that I don't even know if they're going to be met. And I am realizing that these expectations are, one, hypocritical, because I just had 2 episodes of the analysis paralysis that you guys saw. And if you saw, like, thank you for watching and listening. And like I said, I am just going to do my best to learn to edit, either animations or be able to film. But also like a lot of things take time. I do have some limitations. Like I don't have a computer, like I do not drive, and this is fine. Like this is my reality, yet my own decisions. Like it's my, it is what it is. So I gotta like be positive with what I have, and I am not trying to, I guess, like lose faith and like having like be I guess like be self-deprecating for how I feel about not being where I want to be, but also like I need to trust the process, and I need to remember to it's okay to go slow, to go on my own pace. And as I was setting up today, like I'm realizing like, okay, like I set up here because it's easier. I get to get out of the house. I get to be in a different environment. I also, I don't know, like maybe one day I'm gonna film in my room on my bed, because like there's like sometimes like I have like free time during some days, but in reality, I'm like I need to, sometimes I use my free time to journal or to gather my notes for what I'm gonna talk about in when I record. I also use my free time to like do some chores that I have to do around the house, like like things like my laundry, whatever. And then also like I feel like the reason why I think like I'm getting like some burnout is because I've been getting like a lot of like downloads like in my brain. Like I've been getting so many bursts of ideas, and sometimes I don't have my like a journal or something, which I need to like probably like carry one with me. And and this is just like, it's exciting for me because I am going to just like do it, also because it's like, and I'm gonna talk about it in like another episode that I have planned about like artistic stuff. But like I've been getting ideas for things that I should be creating, things I should be like drawing and sketching, and these fun ideas that could materialize in the future. And I think they will. I think that's why they're coming to me, these like random downloads, and they're just like bursts of ideas. They're even when there is peace and quiet, there's no peace and quiet in my mind. And the only time I get like peace and quiet is when like for example, like I went to go see Fantastic Four. Like it actually, like I went to go see it last week, but this is probably going to like get posted a few weeks later because I like I have to like figure things out. But also like whatever. So like I went to go see Fantastic Four, and I actually did like do like the movie, regardless of people like hating on it. Like for example, like people are getting like so over Pedro Pascal being like everywhere overly exposed, but I'm okay with it. One, he was like a solid 7 in the movie. I think he did a good job. I think that there were probably problems with the script, and he did the best he could to materialize the script to the best of his ability. I I think he did what he did with the character. I think it sucks that his role in the upcoming like Avengers movie is gonna get minimized because people are like so upset with Pedro being everywhere. But Pedro has been at it for a while, so for him to like reach this level of success, it just didn't come overnight. And it's so it's like funny that I'm pivoting into this because it's not even what I want to talk about. But like I'm realizing like, okay, so like if it took Pedro this long in his career to get to where he was, like it just didn't happen overnight. But it sucks that he is getting this type of like backlash. And like also for me, like putting into into perception and thinking about it, I need to just like trust the process. It's okay to go slow, and I have to obviously like learn. And a lot of things like that I do talk about, as I talk about them and they come out of my mouth, I get like another download, and I'm just like, oh my god, like duh, Osiris, like you know this, why did you forget about this? Like stop losing sense of who you are or who you've always been. And it just so happens that, we live in Earth, and I am only human, and this week has been a lot for me, and so has the prior week. I'm filming this on a Sunday, so I'm gonna post this on another week, but when I post this will be like the following week after I post the analysis paralysis part 2. But I like I've been like trying to get a lot of things done and juggle, which is okay, but I need to like stop being self-deprecating because I'm not getting any results, because at the end of the day, it's not about the results, and it's about also like me as a person and how I feel. So which is going to be about the topic of conversation that we're gonna have, but like I think I just want to like share. I want to talk about like, I guess, like my week a little bit. So obviously, like, I didn't expect that I was gonna use this outlet. I need to stop using this to point. This is like my page holder, which also has more notes. Like, I just like found a piece of paper. I'm like, I'm gonna write some notes. I'm getting like some ideas. So this, I don't know, like certain little things have been going around, and I just have to like be like thoughtful of other people, and I have to remind myself of that everything's okay, and that I have to worry about like also my life and my future, but remind myself that I have to be kinder to everyone else around me. I have to be kind to those that I love. I have to be kind and patient, because obviously everyone has their own storm going on in their own head, and who am I to judge the way they're processing things? So like I need to like remind myself that, like, yes, it's okay to be overwhelmed. Just take a breather and go take your dog for a walk. So I've been doing that. So like, but also like I do love nature walks, and being closer to like nature. I feel like it's bringing me closer to God, and it's also making me tap into that like artistic mode. But like, so I was like trying to see the analysis paralysis, right? I'm like editing the episodes. Okay, before I go into the topic, I'm going to talk about Fantastic Four real quick. The movie was beautiful. It was so like beautiful, cinematic, and when I was watching the movie, I was finally able to like, one, not have my own thoughts, and then two, like I think it like reawoken like something that I never actually didn't think that I was either like feeling or struggling with, but I don't even think it's those things. I just think it's just like emotions that came out, and which is okay, and I think movies do that. But a part of me was like, when I go watch a movie, I have to like I buy an energy drink because I don't want to fall asleep, because I think my body wants to sleep, but I refuse to like sleep in the middle of the day, because I'm like, oh, those are like some hours wasted, but I think I need to give my brain a little break. And when I meditate, I just don't clear my brains, and when I go for walks, I have more thoughts. So I'm just like, okay, like when I watch cinema, I'm finally like able to shut my mind a little bit, and I'm able to then think about life, and I think about like the purpose of life, and I think about how like this movie's making me feel, or how this movie's going to maybe teach me a lesson about, or give me like a download, or just like a little like conspiracy theory about just like life, the universe, the world, our purpose here as humans. And I like that, and it's a different type of thought process that goes when I'm in the movie theater watching a movie. So when Susan Storm in the movie, Miss Invisible, she is fighting Galactus, and she like completely like falls, down, and she like, they're giving her CPR, and I literally started crying in the movie theater, and I didn't know that. Like, it just like flashed me back when I saw, like, literally, like, I think my brother had his, like, a situation at home, and you know, which I'm kind of like a little frustrated with him and his recovery journey with his addiction, and him, like, struggling with alcoholism, and the amount of like damage and like like energy being drained from the family. And um I just have to, I don't know. But anyways, like, I remember him getting CPR, and I just like started to like cry a little bit, and I had to like, kind of like gather my tears, because like everyone's just like, oh my God, like not that I think anyone's watching, but it's just like, oh, like, I guess like it is true when Nicole Kidman says, when she's like walking in the movie theater, and she's like, oh, heartbreak feels good in a place like this. I'm like, you were right, to say that, Nicole. I actually never want that to go away, that little clip. I'm kind of like disturbed that they made it shorter. I kind of wish it was like still its original length. I actually think they should reshoot it. But anyways, yeah, so like I think like at home has been like a little bit tough, especially like I've been seeing how my mom is like struggling with this, because it's her son, and she's been vulnerable, and she's been like, I think I haven't seen my mom break down in a while, and I think that's been like playing with my like emotional, like, like psyche. My It's like being an like emotional toll on me, and it's just okay. But I just been like realizing that, like, I don't know if I'm like losing a sense of like empathy in a way. I'm like realizing that like these are like a lot of emotions, and like the old Osiris a couple years ago will probably like cry. And this time, like, I'm just sitting with the emotions, and I just think I'm like frustrated, and I think I'm overwhelmed. Like, I don't think, I know that I am, but I keep saying that I think, because I am like trying to not cement those feelings so I could change. I have a really big belief in never being part of the problem and trying to be part of the solution, and that's like something that I strive to do, especially when I decided to become sober and decided to like never be gaslit, and never be to be able to use my brain and be able to just be kind to anybody else out there. Like, there are things like that I struggle with. Like, I'm struggling with, like, I guess like making fun of others, and like, poking fun at people's like appearances here and there for the sake of a joke, or to be shady, or to be funny, or like making fun of someone's outfit, or and I feel like I do that because I do like work in fashion or whatever. But it's an excuse. These are excuses, and I could be a better human, and I obviously want to be. So that's, I think, another reason for my burnout. And I think it's like some of it does have to do with like my brother and the way he's dealing with his recovery, or like lack thereof. And it's, we cannot force him to just go to like a rehab center. Like, it's like I think it's illegal to do that, and he has to go by choice. So it's just been incredibly frustrated. Like, he doesn't listen to me, nor do I think he like values what I have to say or respects my opinion. But I don't know. I don't know. And I think like I say that, but I say that, and I'm trying to be like, oh, like, this is an excuse or whatever. But I think his actions would show me otherwise if he like somehow cared. So I don't know. This is just like a little food for thought for me. But like, this has also been a distraction for me to find that little inner peace, to just find more ways to be artistic and creative. I do realize that I'm probably like not super duper happy doing what I'm doing for work, but I'm good at it. And like, and I think anyone could be good at what I do. It's not like a job, but it should be a temporary job. And I'm realizing that I'm meant to create and I'm meant to be some sort of artist, and I am here finding my way. I'm trying to find out what I'm supposed to do, if I'm supposed to do something in fashion, if I'm supposed to be a writer, am I supposed to do it all? Like I am like, which is why this is like the show that I'm doing, because like one I'm like detailing my process, and I'm here like giving you downloads and like giving you a recap of what I'm doing. But like I had, like, for example, like one of my downloads when I was meditating, like when I had a meditation when I listened to a sound bath on with a pineal gland sound bowl. Like, I mean, it was like the purpose was for the for the throat chakra actually. And I actually, like, I'm not going to actually share with you what I saw, because these were like a vision from the divine and from like an outer source and maybe the spiritual guides. Like, but what I experienced was like very, very beautiful. And like, since that meditation that I've been having so many like bursts of creative downloads. And like one of my creative downloads that has been pushing me to do is that like I need to sketch, and I want to sketch like clothing. So I already like came up with a name for what I want to create, and I like, and I'm tying this down to the show, the Osiris show. So like I am thinking of how this will be like together. So like in the future, if I do a drop, like I hate to call this merch, because it's not going to be merch. I think it's going to be like a capsule or a collection, because it will be quality, it will be great, and it's going to be like artistic. So I'm not going to share anything, because I don't have anything copyrighted, and I don't want anyone to like steal my actual ideas. But these are ideas that I have. So like now I'm like thinking like, oh my god, like I'm gonna learn how to sketch. Like I don't know how to sew, but I think I could hire somebody. But my lips, I feel like I need to always like put chapstick. It's not chapstick, but like this is Summer Fridays, because I don't like Hailey Bieber, so like I'm not like into the road. But Summer Fridays, I always like, I feel like I talk a lot, and then my mouth gets a little dry, and I'm like, I reapply. Well, not my mouth, but my actual physical lips. And I don't know. Like I probably do today. I feel like I do needed to drink more water, and I drank a lot of water today, and I peed so much, and I'm just like I didn't before I recorded, I didn't drink water, because I didn't want to like suddenly like have to pause. I could go pee, because I'm just like, then I sit down and I'm like, what was I talking about? It's gonna be so confusing. So anyways, I've been having these creative downloads where I'm like, okay, like time to like, I guess like learn how to sketch and learn how to like create, like do a couple things. And like the designs are gonna be simple. They're just like fun ideas that I'm having. But I think this is gonna be like super cute, and like obviously like it might be like a one and done or whatever. But like I think I'm just like slowly thinking of like cute little capsules that I think like people would enjoy. And I don't know. But in addition to that, I'm also been like getting like kind of like a will to just like pick up the pen and start writing, and write, and create these like fantasy stories that I wanted to create. And I am like, oh my goodness, like this is gonna be like insane just to find the time to do that. So I've been like feeling like overwhelmed with ideas, and I don't know, like I feel like there's moments when my body is craving like sleep. But then I'm just like, I also want to do this, and I want to like recap like a couple of things, well, whatever. But then when I was like uploading the episodes of Analysis Paralysis, I felt like I got faced again with this like my self-saboteur, and I got faced again with this like the limiting beliefs. And I'm like coming to the conclusion of like holding myself to the mirror and realizing who I am as a person, and as a like quote unquote like an artist, right? Like, not that you guys haven't seen any of thing that I've been doing, or what I'm creating, or besides this, and this is still creating content, and I do like talking to people. I love helping anyone I can. I do adore really like guiding someone. When I was in high school, I really like thought about like becoming a therapist. And I wanted to go to school to learn that, but then I just hated that I have to go to school and like learn so many extra stuff. I'm like, can I just learn whatever I have to learn for things to have just for that career path? Like, it's just like, I hate the school here. But regardless, so I do value these like episodes in my show, and I am going to continue to do this because I do believe that I have a message for you guys, and I want you guys to learn. So when I was I was like, and I wrote this on my description of the video, which I don't even know if people read that or not, but like it could be a little lengthy, so I apologize, but I don't have to apologize for it being lengthy. The videos are long as it is. I am long-winded. Like if I write a book, it might be this thin, or it's gonna be like a Harry Potter book. But it's just like, I was like thinking that I need to stop being a little bit harsh on myself and be a little bit kinder. And I have to remind myself of the purpose of what I'm doing and what it is, and just like realize that it's okay, because I am only human and I don't have to be perfect in earth. And maybe in retrospect, I could be perfect for someone out there. Like, someone might see me as like, wow, why is this guy like beating himself up? Like, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, why am I beating myself up? Like, I saw the video and I didn't like the way I looked. I felt like I looked a little frumpy. I felt that I look a little like bloated. I'm like, but then all these things make me think about like, okay, Osiris, don't just be kinder to yourself, but can you change a couple of things? Change your diet. Maybe like don't stress eat. Maybe like cut the sugar out. Do a couple of things that could just empower you. Maybe find the time. Also, like, I realized that day when I filmed, I didn't get enough sleep. I got home really, really late from work, and then I basically, like, when I got home from work, I had, like, my dogs came to me and they were like excited, and I realized that they haven't been walked, and they also didn't get any water. So I was walking my dogs. I walked my dogs, like, that took like 40 minutes of my day, because I have two dogs. I have like an Australian Shepherd mini toy. Well, he's just a toy, but he's small, but not that small. Anyways, you guys seen photos of him if you guys follow me on my social media. But also, like, I have another dog. I have a black beagle, and I walk both of them. Like, it takes me like 20 minutes to walk them both, because I want to make sure that they poop and that they pee, and so I do like I kind of like go around one block, and then I go back home, and then I do another block. So like, like, I got home like around midnight, and like, so I didn't hit the shower till like maybe like 12:45, and then try to do a couple skincare, and then I feel like I woke up like poofy. I woke up with my eyes super like shut, and I'm like, I need more sleep. I felt that I needed more sleep. And then the same thing happened yesterday. And not only did it happen yesterday, but I don't know what my little dog ate, but my little dog, the Australian Shepherd, he sleeps in my room. So like, he literally woke up and he pooped 4 times in the midnight. So I had to I picked up the poops in my room. I was like, oh my God, like, why are you pooping? And the thing is, like, I don't know why, but maybe like we are like, how like some girls in the house or in the room or like at work, they'll sync their period. I don't know, like maybe we're synced somehow, that when he was awake, I woke up and I'm like thinking like, what are you doing? You're pooping. So like, I would just have to like take him out, or like go pick it up, or like figure something out. So like, I had like, like, I guess like trouble sleeping, and I was like, okay, but I already committed to film, to do this. So like, in the morning it was a little rough. I had a couple of things to do, but I guess like, I was like, I still have to commit to do this. Like, I like to like say like, oh my God, this is the devil stopping me from getting to film, to put it out there. It's getting in the way of my success. And then, so like that was happening. So I was thinking, okay, maybe get more sleep, maybe like, I don't know, like get, like start using your eye cream more. Like sometimes like I forget to use my eye cream, and I think yesterday I put on way too much or something, that I think I put it on my cheeks. So like my cheeks are like a little like red right here, but I don't know, whatever. These are just like little excuses, but it's just like I don't understand why I'm being so like harsh on my appearance, because I could care less about how I look. And then I am also then thinking about, my success, post the videos, and I'm just like, well, they're not going anywhere. But the reality is that I do not know who's watching. So like, one video has like 7 views, the other one has 2. And I don't know who's watching. And at the end of the day, I'm thinking that one, AI is out there, which I'm a little against AI, because I believe it's making us as a world more stupid, and not being able to actually use our brain and comprehend like things that we should be doing. Like when I want to write something, or if I want to like have an idea, or for me, before I press record on the on my camera, and on my phone, and on the episode that I'm going to talk about, so I do a little research prior. So I'm not sitting down like willy-nilly, just gagalagging and whatever. Like, yeah, some of these things are core beliefs that I have. Some of the things that I'm talking about are in my head common sense, and I believe a lot of you guys do not have common sense, and that is the reality. And with AI, I am realizing that maybe people have a short attention span, but regardless, like this is just like me getting in my head, like, oh, I see that like one video has 2 views, and I'm just like, okay, Osiris, you said this from the very beginning, that you were not like this was not going to be a thing that was going to get in your head. It was not going to be a thing that was that success doesn't happen overnight, and also that, and this is me talking to myself, like I cannot sit here and be a hypocrite, because I'm talking about things that matter, and things that are wholesome, and things that matter to me. And as a creator, as an artist, as a human being, I do not have expectations on what I'm doing or what I'm putting out there, because to me, it's already a success, the fact that I already pressed post. Like, you don't even know the amount of emotions that I have, and the way my nervous system gets a little erratic literally when I press post on the video. And I sometimes think like, okay, well, if no one is watching, and I should be posting this like no one is watching, but anyone could, and it's okay if no one does watch. But I think one day like millions of people will be watching, and that's the expectation. But it, like, like the slow and steady wins the race, and whatever people say. But I need to be a little bit kinder to myself, and remind myself that I have artistic integrity, and the success is coming as it is, because I am learning lessons as I go. I am learning to, one, let go of the ego, two, let go of the expectations of others versus my expectation. So my expectation was the little mini milestones, like, for some it's just like, this is like nothing. Like the way I'm talking, it's like, okay, like you are being so silly. And I have a saying, I'm like, you're drowning in a cup of water. So I'm like, why am I choosing to do this myself, right? But I'm like, these things are like a little nerve-wracking for me, like, oh, pressing post, pressing record, like my appearance of how I look, and then also how I sound, and all of these things. But at the end of the day, I am pushing myself forward towards something that I am passionate about, and that should count. So this is like a segue into like the episode today. So yes, I think I talked a little bit about fashion, but before I even talk about fashion and dressing, like the biggest thing, I, you know, that comes with fashion and dressing is really your emotions. And at the end of the day, you could wear whatever you want. Life is life is it's just, like, one, life isn't real, and also time isn't real to me. You could believe it is, but I choose not to believe that it is. Like, if I believe that life isn't really real, meaning that things shouldn't really matter, and what matters is the love and support that you give to each other. So like, how can I do more of that? How can I be more of a creator? I think about putting myself out there a little bit more and finding more courage. And it's silly because a lot of you guys know me, and the ones who do know me, you know me to be someone who always looks good, someone who has a fly outfit on, like I believe that I do, but a lot of it is self-belief. So when you guys see me out in the world and you're like, wow, like this guy, I know I'm a confident person, but I get in my own head sometimes. And then there are different levels of confidence, obviously. So I'm confident when I walk into a room. I'm so confident when I'm talking. I'm confident in public speaking. I'm not scared of others. Like, I could be scared of a random situation, but when it comes to like being confident, like I'm confident. Like, I try to have good body posture, all of these things. But I do get in my head sometimes, and then I get in my head with like random disbeliefs, the little head and the little thoughts in your head, the little random voices, and I'm just like, who is this little random voice talking to me? Like, why are you there? Like, I am tuning it out. So the secret sauce for a great outfit is how you feel. So I guess this was like a really big intro, but I don't even think it's an intro. Like, I went into the episode right away, but like I had a download. So thank you for listening on like my week, I guess. And if it resonates, it resonates. And like, obviously I am going to be talking about a little bit of like a couple of struggles that I have like artistically here, which is great. But I do this all just to show you, one, like, this is like me being a little vulnerable. And then two, it's also like, in reality, there's not a lot of friends that I have that I could call. And when I could do call, they don't pick up. So like, who can I be vulnerable with? Like, I don't want to burden my mom. She has like a lot going on with my brother. And I just don't need her to like tell me things. And she's going to get frustrated because she's going to be like, snap out of it, bitch. Like, go for it, like, do it. Like, you are a confident person. Like, you came out of me, and she's a confident person herself. So I'm just like, I am living in fear sometimes, and I should stop. So obviously the secret to me of a great outfit, the secret ingredient is your confidence. A lot of the times it's not gonna work if you don't feel right. So yeah, thank you for listening, for like, my a little like, I guess me venting about like my week, my 2 weeks, because it was 2 weeks. And in reality, and I hope it made sense because it was all over the place. It really was. So but this is a little episode now. So this is going to go under Reatil therapy, a playlist. And this is going to be like, how to build your confidence. And this is going to be the foundation for your outfits. So before I even give you ideas or walk you through how to dress yourself or what to do, or how to channel different archetypes of like dressing, I am doing you a disservice by one, now, like, not allowing me to be vulnerable, to be to be authentic, and three, to be confident. This is like the foundation that you need to have for any great outfit. So you need to have that, and then you need to have the ability to play. But some people do not have the ability to play, which is okay. But you still need to have these core values. You need to have vulnerability, authenticity, and confidence. Without that foundation, like, your outfit is just your outfit. So I pride myself with how authentic I am and how different I am, and how like, I sometimes call myself like an anomaly. Like, I'm one of one. And there might be others like me, but once you really get to talking to me and get my ideas, and the way that I have a vision, and the way I think of artistic value, and the way I curate things, I come with a perspective and a purpose, and I do it with such confidence and ease. And a lot of these traits doesn't really happen overnight. Like, I remember when I was much younger, and you know and I believe that even when I was in, like, much younger, when I was even getting bullied for being who I was, I got more and more confident. And I was just like, dude, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm just like, I'm not making fun of you for being straight, because like, people will make fun of me for, like, being gay or whatever. And a lot of the times I'm realizing, like, oh, this is just like people mirror talking, or like they're projecting. And I'm just like, I'm not making fun of you for, like, liking pussy, like, oh, like, you like pussy, but I'm not. But they did that to me, right? And I guess, like, sorry for being a little crass, but I'm gonna try to not do that again. But it is what it is. So it's like tuning out that outside noise, because to me that doesn't really feel like how it feels. So I actually, like, thought about what I was gonna wear for this episode. So I wore this snake shirt, and it does, like, sparkle a little bit because it's different, and I want to be different. I'm an anomaly. In addition, I also wanted to kind of, like, symbolize how snakes shed their skin and they breathe in a new me. So, like, I felt like I had, like, a couple of self-deprecating moments. I had an overwhelming couple of weeks. So, like, I am wearing the snake print to just show that I'm, like, I am not going back to hermit mode or metamorphosis, but I do have the audacity to shed my skin again, and come in here new, and regain that confidence that I never lost. That just, I don't even know why I set it down for a little bit, but maybe I did. But I do want to teach you how I do it, and I hope that this really, really, really resonates with all of you. And if it doesn't, then I don't know, because to me it makes a lot of sense. So, like, I am a very confident individual. I could care less what people do or say. I have a belief that, if we are in a world where this is, let's say, hypothetically speaking, a simulation, I refuse to be a sim. I do not want to be an MP. I do not want to be a non-player. Not only am I a main character per se, but I'm gonna be in like the upcoming sequels, right? And I have like the best wardrobe out there, or like I'm gonna like try to choose the best outfits. Like I believe in living in a world that could emote a fairy tale. And I love that for me. That is my thought process. That is the way I live. That is my brain. Like why not show up and live like a princess, or live like this, or like live like a villain or whatever, but not like a villain like in the essence that you're evil, but choose your clothes that way. You are in a way the main character, right? So I was thinking of like I was rewatching Dracula, the first the Bram Stoker one, and in Dracula one, the costumes are amazing. R.I.P. to the costume designer, but she died a couple years ago. But anyways, there is the scene where Winona Ryder, she meets Dracula for the first time, and she's wearing her green dress, and he's wearing his like, I can't remember what it is anymore. If it's like a purple, but like at the end of the day, every character, like extra, like anyone who's not them, and obviously this is a movie, so like that is how sets work, but everyone is wearing, it's a sea of black. It's a sea of like tan and gray and like random little like things that just in my head they do not scream main character energy. The costume designer literally chose those pieces so your attention is gravitated towards them, and then when someone else comes into the scene, then they're also going to have a different color palette, but it's not going to be the color palette of the background people. So that's what I'm saying, like the NPCs, the non-players. So do you want to be a non-player? Do you not, I guess, do you not care? But in an essence, I'm not saying like wear more color or something, but there's just a way that you could do it where you tailor yourself, where you look a little one, you have to look a little elevated first of all, but that's like steering away from the topic at hand. But not only do you have to, wear things, like my sense of style is different from everyone else's, and it works for me. But also, a lot of people could look at it and be like get to admire it, and sometimes they're able to go back home and be like, I'm gonna step out and just like, do it, because like why not? Like this guy is doing it, he's stepping out, like it's not even his birthday, and he's like dressed like it is, and why not? Like, go out there, do it. Like you could die tomorrow. like for real though, like you could. So like why would you like, I guess, like live your life, for a lack of better words, like a pedestrian, like a basic person. So not so you could go shopping, don't do that, but just think about it. Also, like you have things, but that's what I'm saying, like have the ability to play, but also you have to wear things that are you, and you have to wear things that stick true to who you are. But in the essence, the reason why I brought back this whole like I gave you the example of Dracula was because they wore something that stood out a little bit, but it wasn't like a sea. It wasn't what everyone else was wearing or what everyone is doing, which is kind of like why I'm like, okay, some trends are like a facade. For me, the trend of quiet luxury was so annoying because, like, not that I'm a maximalist, and here I am, like, sparkling, wearing jewelry and whatnot, but I'm a little frustrated because a lot of people were toning their outfits down, losing an essence of who they were. Everyone is wearing the same thing, and also like a lot of people are looking like secretaries, and they're like, it's quiet luxury, and I'm just like, the essence of quiet luxury was so logomania could die, not so you could be a basic person. Because you're choosing to be basic and like less fabrication. But to me, quiet luxury and true essence is not flashing your wealth, first of all, if you have any, but also not being extremely obnoxious with the way you dress, where everything is an advertisement logo. There could still be an essence of, you know, like a little grand out there, like, you know, like there are, when you like dress like royalty in a way, like royals, you know, even back in the day, they had elaborate gowns and jewelry, and it was still very refined, but it wasn't to the essence where they look extremely trashy, right? But this whole quiet luxury trend was, it's like kind of like making people believe that they don't have any style because they're not dressed like a Ralph Lauren ad, which half the time these people are not even wearing Ralph Lauren, but they're emoting to it, which is okay. Not everyone could afford Ralph Lauren. It's expensive. It's a luxury brand. But you have to do it in essence to who you are. Like, for example, take into consideration like Doechi or Tyler the Creator, like they are dressing in a preppy manner, still emoting this like essence of quiet luxury, of like, but also they're not looking like these secretaries like you guys are looking, or like, you guys are being so annoying with this quiet luxury thing, to be quite honest. But to me, quiet luxury really stands for how intelligent you really are, because like people who really have wealth, they have the free time to just explore their multiple levels of education. They read, they travel, they learn, they visit museums, you know, and obviously they do enjoy their wealth. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. You see what I mean? This is why I feel like these episodes are going to be long. Also, I am not going to do this part 1, part 2 thing. I feel like that was silly of me. Like, I was talking to my mom, actually, and she told me, she was just like, some people have episodes and they're like 2 hours long, and people do press play and do watch and listen. And I'm like, you're right. So I am not going to do these 2-part videos anymore, but I do talk a lot. So I want to teach you guys, I guess, like how I became a little confident. One, I admire my mom so much, and to me, she's very confident. And you know, like I think it was like she was like, and I told her the other day, like when she was getting a little vulnerable with me, and she was crying, and she was like telling me some personal things that I'm not gonna share because, like, one, I don't want to cry, but two, like I was telling her, like I admire you so much that I actually think that you know, like I never would have imagined you had a, you know, a weak moment, or that you felt this way. But she was just like, that is what everyone thinks. Like I could have weak moments. I could get sad, and everyone thinks this of me, but like it's not really always the case. And I have an aha moment that I'm just like, you know, like what, me and my mom are very similar. Like I'm just like, I guess I am becoming my mother slowly as I age, but it's like another like realization. But like I guess like I am, because it's not that I mask my pain with confidence, but I refuse to let the world know that I am becoming a little weak or insecure. But it's okay to be vulnerable. That is so contradicting now that I'm saying it out loud. But like I'm being vulnerable because now I feel like I've healed, and I'm letting you know, like, this is how I pick myself up, right? It's okay to feel the way you feel, but you need to be able to learn and have this sense of realization. Like if you don't, then why any of this, right? So when I have these weak moments, I remind myself, especially when I became sober, I made that promise that I was going to be kinder to myself, and I was going to talk to myself in the most positive way. And I was never going to use negative language or anything deprecating to describe me. And I would also never allow someone else to do the same. So, I have some notes, and I actually wrote down the definition about, you know, so like I wrote down the definition for confidence, which is super easy, but like For those who don't pick up a book or just, use like ChatGPT for everything, I did not use ChatGPT for this. Okay, so in definition, confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, to have firm trust, a feeling of self assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. So, in essence, the definition is saying that you need to have that feeling. So, confidence is rooted in emotions. So, not only do you have to have confidence, but you need to have that blind trust. Just like like some people have confidence in like God has my back. God is going to make sure that everything is right. And he is, and he will. You need to have that confidence for yourself too. And you need to have that confidence because that is going to set the tone to lead you towards other better emotions. Like you cannot, I guess you could, but not really. Like you cannot chase happiness without not having a little confidence in yourself. And confidence comes in different envelopes, shapes, and sizes. You could be a little bit more demure with your confidence, but you still have that self-belief in yourself. You have that confidence in yourself. So you could not be confident and chase all these like positive, abundant emotions that are going to make a better you. So in essence, confidence is rooted in the willingness to act. It isn't just believing in oneself, but also acting according as an empowered individual, taking risks to step out of your comfort zone and to pursue opportunities. So when I wrote this down, I was literally thinking about obviously all of my artistic journey, my show, pressing record, and what I talked about in the beginning of the episode about me having these overwhelming self-deprecating thoughts and beliefs that I will need to stop obviously having. And then I felt better. I felt better when I came to the realization that I'm okay and I'm in the right path. And and I shouldn't be overwhelming myself, but I need to press go, press go, press go, press act. Imagine if I gave up after seeing just like 2 views on the analysis paralysis episode, and I'm like, well, no one's watching this, I'm gonna give up and hang it up. And I'm like, okay, am I gonna really do that? Am I going to do that again? Like hang up another project that I never did? Like how many unfinished stories did you not forget that you were writing that you wanted to turn into novels? How many? Stop doing this. So I told myself this is going to feel uncomfortable, it's gonna be okay. It is uncomfortable to see yourself looking like a bloated bitch on the camera, and you're like, oh my god, but why would I be mean to myself? Why? But I also it's okay to be uncomfortable and just realize that you need to keep acting and pursue your dreams. Go towards what you need to do. So, and I'm gonna tie this down to dressing towards the end, right? But right now we're talking about confidence and your self-belief. So, these little small acts of willingness could be as small as, getting out of bed because you're depressed. Showing up, as the better version of you. All of these things matter. So I wrote down a couple of benefits of what happens when you are confident. So when you are more confident, you have it, because this is tied down to your emotions, you have less fear, less anxiety. So I did write down a little mantra that I have for myself, that I tell myself every time I have a little moment of weakness and I believe that I'm losing my confidence, which kind of doesn't really happen for me, but I have to sometimes like you remember myself because I get a little anxious because like I get a little anxious when I'm in like a big crowded area, and sometimes I feel like the like a lot of eyes are on me, but then like sorry, like they are, like I can't help that I'm magnetic, but it is, but I'm not doing it to be an attention seeker. But sometimes like I'm like, oh, like when I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone, I get a little like anxious, and that's when fear creeps in. And I, like for those who don't know, fear fear messes up your pheromones, and people could smell fear, and you start smelling a little bit different. So like letting go of fear by being more confident really really like, I don't know, like you would be an invisible person, and I'm trying to tap into that myself because like like this is something that I constantly am working on, is like having these fears that I actually put on myself. First of all, these are like self fears. So like I'm becoming better at this. So you also become resilient as another benefit from being confident. Learning from setbacks. So learning from setbacks, I love when I wrote this down because I realized that it's okay to fail because you are learning something. I am always going to see my glass half full. I am not drowning in a cup of water when there's an ocean out there. Never. I refuse. I have audacity. So I am learning not only that this, to me, it wasn't, if there's no failure in life. And once you like change the narrative that it is like you're not failing, you're learning. There, if it's not a lesson, it's a blessing. So the blessing is in the lesson. So like you are not going to have your ego checked, and you're not going to strip that down. It's okay to, it's like, it's actually better for you to have an ego death, because if you're confident and you are a humble, gentle soul, like you're just like radiating light. And this is just like the best way to be. And I honestly, like this is something like I emote to have, and I believe that I do possess, especially when I am just in my element, and I finally am able to just quiet down my thoughts, and I'm able to like, I feel like things at home are just working a little bit smoother, and it's okay. Sometimes like I'm realizing like, oh, I probably need to move, but I need to get my money in order to move, so I could probably like quiet down. But I don't know, I'm straying away from topic, but it's just kind of like you have to learn to embrace your mistakes. And this is something that I love to do, because also like as an artist, as a writer, as a creative individual, living in your mistakes is actually like empowering, because you're like letting the world know, and also like letting God know, like towards your path of heaven, or a better afterlife, because I don't know what you believe in your side of the world. You have to let source, God, your spirit know that you are learning your lessons here on earth. You're learning, you're growing, you're becoming a more complex and beautiful individual. And you're not going to do that if you like don't grow from the mistakes that you've made. When like, hello, like the Elias song that everyone always likes to quote, like, if I fall down I get up again. Yes, do it, and do it better, do it graceful, do it with a better outfit, do it with a better mindset, do it because you learned, and it's leading you to become a better you, a fuller you, the you that you were always meant to be. So I don't know, always always do something that is going to make, one, if you are a parent, make your children proud. But if you're not a parent, but even if you are, make the old you proud. Like the child, like you as a child would be so proud of yourself. You're like, oh my God, like I couldn't dreamt of a better life, right? Also because you're being kind. And if you are a parent, you are teaching your kids because they're seeing you behave this way. So, like I said, like I am becoming my mom, a lot of children become their parents because they're around those actions. You emote a lot of your own environment. And obviously you learned this if you saw me talk about it about my topic on epigenetics on my analysis paralysis. So like I'm also like to reference a lot of things I talk about because one, it stimulates my brain, it makes it work a little bit more, and also it's teaching you all how this is all connected. Like this is all one big puzzle piece. Like I'm just giving you pieces of nuggets as they go. Like here's another piece of the puzzle, right? But it's all connected. So when you are more confident, you also gain empathy, which I was like a little like shocked when I learned doing research about this because it's so true. Because if you're learning from your mistakes and you're being a little bit kinder to yourself because you're learning, you're changing and gaining new perspectives, you're also gaining more empathy in the essence that you're not like hogging up the room. You're not, when someone is confident, they don't need to be like the loudest person in the room, and they don't have to always be those attention seekers, because those who like crave a lot of attention, in reality, they're not confident. They're actually insecure. And that is their way of telling you that they are insecure because they could not be with themselves. They have a lot of noise in their head, and they're craving a lot of attention because it's a defense mechanism. Because honestly, I don't know, like I have a theory and I don't want to get into it right now because it might trigger some people, but I do have a theory, and I don't think it's a theory that is like for the masses. But I don't know, I might talk about it on another episode, which I do have planned. So when you're no longer hogging up the room, you are creating feelings. Those feelings lead to a deeper and genuine connection with others. So when someone is confident, they're able to become better listeners, and they're able to genuinely care about others because they're coming to the realization that if they are confident in who they are, they're also confident enough to know that it's not about the spotlight, and also like, who cares about the spotlight? The spotlight sometimes doesn't have to be on you for people to gravitate towards you anyways. But you have to be, cautious and a better, like me being a better listener has always been like a struggle, but I do listen, but I also do talk a lot. But in essence, when I'm engaged in a conversation is when I'm asking a lot of questions. So I like to ask a lot because I am just genuinely curious. So like, if you want to, I guess, learn to be more empathetic, I say lead in with your curiosity. You could be more empathetic because like empathy it correlates with other people's feelings, and you don't have to mold yourself to their emotions to become a little bit more empathetic, but you have to make others feel more comfortable when they're around you. And they're not going to feel comfortable when they're around you when they're not able to get a word in. and they're not able to be themselves when they're when they're with you. But also, like, in essence, what I was saying, that it's not about the spotlight. It's because, like, one, if you're confident, you know that you're okay to share the spotlight with others. And also, like, what if there's no spotlight because you are the light? Like, you are the light that, is resonating from within and is oozing out into others, and you're just like sharing the light with other people, right? And it's all about like uplifting others, but also like take into consideration, or like not take into consideration, like, for example, when you're watching a movie and there's multiple like people in one scene, there's sometimes like a moment when maybe your eye is, or even when you're watching a play or like a ballet, sometimes your eye is actually not even going towards the main character or the person saying the lights or saying what they have to say. It's going towards someone else who might have more magnetism, more aura, or just in a way. And I think it's because they're finding their confidence and they're being more comfortable in who they are. And that's kind of like a key right there. Confidence, comfortable, like these things kind of like begin similarly, these words, because like they're related. Okay, so my big thing about confidence, and this is like the most important thing, and it's also like to be a better human, a better human, is to have authenticity. Like, I hate to say, like, because now like this whole main character energy trend is like becoming like so negative sometimes, like, oh my god, that person is like too much main character energy. And it's because a lot of you out there, not because like I'm not putting myself in the mix, but a lot of you out there are doing this main character energy practice with a lot of selfish behavior. You're doing it with selfish needs, and it's all about me. I am the main character, and it's coming off not even main character anymore, because the main character goes through, if you're watching a movie, is like, one, like, they let other people talk because there's multiple characters in a movie, and they have to go through a breakthrough. They go through the threshold. They learn something. They grow. They fall down. They get up. And a lot of people out there are just becoming way too obnoxious with it, because you're actually not being main character. What you're doing is you're becoming a narcissist. So when you like that, you need to remember that you need to have authenticity. So when you have authenticity, your real personality will shine through, leading into your inner purpose, and have increased ability to express yourself freely. So I say this to say that, I did write more stuff. Okay, so, and like I highlighted almost everything that I wrote right here, because I believe that for you to be more authentic, you need to remember like your inner purpose in life. And for me, it's I guess like creative expression, and also like it's a lot, like I have big dreams, obviously, but like what leads to your purpose, it's being who you really are, doing things that make you happy, an essence of who you are. Like, you have a hobby. What are those hobbies? And it is not just going to the gym. For some of you that could be a case, but it shouldn't be a personality trait. But like what is a real like happy thing that brings you joy? And if it is going to the gym, then I guess. But it is just like not creative. But regardless, when you are more authentic, your actual real personality comes out. And I think it's like, I sometimes like when I pressed record today, I didn't know, one, how long this video is going to be, and I'm pretty sure it's becoming long, but I don't care. And I hope that you don't either, and thank you for joining me. But also, like, I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm going to just press record, I'm going to talk, and what comes out of my mouth sometimes, like, really, like, surprises me, because I'm just thinking to myself, like, I didn't think it was going to actually take a turn this way, and it, in a way, it does kind of like make sense. It does really kind of like really like correlate to how everything's supposed to be. And I really do feel like it's really, things do kind of like happen for a reason, because I shared things with you in the beginning of the episode, not thinking it was going to like tie down that, and actually I think it is, because I think I did it with like a blind purpose. But here I am thinking, like, oh yeah, like, things aren't supposed to, like, like, be a little bit more vulnerable, let your real personality come out, be who you're supposed to be, but also, like, obviously do it with kindness for others and for yourself. Okay, so I do have a personal mantra, but I do want to tell you, before I go and teach you about my personal mantra, I want to teach you about, or just talk about, kind of like how you could appear confident towards others. So first is that you need to have body language. You need to be able to work on your posture, first of all. Stretch, go for walks, but you do a lot of stretching, like work on that back. I guess be very cautious about how you're looking down. A lot of us look down on our phones. So for me, I have a couple of rules that when I am out and about and I am, like, for example, like, at a restaurant, or, I'm actually walking down the street, or I am actually, like, even if I'm standing in line at a Starbucks, I am not looking down at my phone. I refuse. So, I say body language is key, because many see you before they can hear you. So when you have to walk in like God sent you. And you have to be able to, like, learn how to own the room. And it's okay if you don't know how, but it's fine. If these little things obviously take time. I'm gonna just, like, give me 1 second. There's a lot of, like, chaos. So I'm gonna just, like, press pause. Okay, so I don't know. Anyways, you might, like, I might not even edit that out, because one, the video is too long, and I don't know how to, like, actually edit from the middle of the actual cut episode. But there was, like, a lot of activity going on over there, and there still is, because, like, I could hear the gate and everything closing, and I'm just, like, near a window, so I just had to, like, close the curtain, because, like, I'm like, people are, like, lurking in. And not that I need a privacy or anything like that, because, like, a vision or a dream of mine is to, like, be able to, like, teach this on a, like, on a some sort of, like, TED Talk, like, stage, and just, be able to walk on stage and just, like, have a couple unloads or whatever. But anyways, so you might see that on camera. So who cares? It was just, like, a lot of chaos. Like, there's, like, a restaurant nearby, and they were just, like, doing a trash run. But like I said, I am filming in my mom's, like, dance studio, or, like, workout Zumba studio, whatever. I'm not sure if I said that or not, but it is, which is kind of like why I have this, like, background right here, because, like, I'm keeping the privacy and the integrity of her, like, space. and like privacy things, but also like I needed like a space to film and be able to get out of the house. And I was thinking of like going somewhere, like I had like another idea of like like a gallery or things like that, but I just couldn't. But regardless, so back to confidence. So your body language is very important for me. I think that I have good posture. I don't think, I know that I do. I know that, when I walk and I stand somewhere, I know I probably intimidate a lot of other people, but that is like you feeling that way, not me, because I am feeling empowered. If you are intimidated by me, then that is your own self-belief and the way you're seeing the world through your lens and your perspective. But I get that a lot. I get that I do intimidate so many others, and I'm always trying to like ask so many people, like, how can I like work on that, or how can I like slowly, like, I guess, like stop that from happening. And I just, I guess that I can't, because in essence I am changing a little bit of who I am to please to others, and I don't have to do that. I seriously don't. They're still going at it. I'm just gonna like forget about it. But I did have to put the curtain down because they were like poking through. Anyways, so my mom being a ballerina, she, at least to me, because it resonated with me, because my brothers, they have like, their posture is not always the best. And it isn't. Sorry if you're watching, like, your posture is not always the best. But for me, these lessons, or these like little downloads from me watching her do her thing, resonated with me, because I was like, like, I admire her, and I see the way she stands and her posture, and like the way when dancers stand, they stand so delicately and so like grand, and they're like, they do these poses and all of these things, and I'm just like, oh, that is so graceful. But like sometimes, like, I guess, like, maybe I overdo it, and I'm like standing like a statue, like Michelangelo. But at the end of the day, like, I know I feel empowered, and I know that I don't have like a weak way about me. Like, I am sure of who I am, and I'm stepping 10 toes down, and I am walking into every room like God did send me there. And in addition to that, I'm not scared, because my presence should not intimidate others, and the room is going to adjust to my presence, because this world is like built for all of us to thrive, and I choose not to. So another thing that is really, really key to build confidence is having self-resilience. So when it comes to having self-resilience, you need to stop seeking outside validation. So for example, like, me having these like moments of weakness, watching the slow progress of this beautiful like show, and it's okay, like, it's gonna be a slow, like a lot of candles have a slow burn. Like, it should be that way, they last longer. So, but also, like, I'm like, these things, like, I'm learning. But you have to, when it comes to you having resilience, you need to say this and believe this: you do not need validation. You do not need validations to be you. You do not need validations to exist. You don't need validations from no one. Like, I low-key sometimes hate, because you know yourself better than anybody else. And two, you know how things make you feel, and if things are real or not, So I guess it's okay to get a second opinion, but sometimes that second opinion, if you don't like what they're saying, that in a sense is validation enough that you didn't even need that validation to begin with. You didn't need that second opinion to begin with. So when you're asking someone else, does this look good? Or do I look good in this? You already know. You looked in the mirror. You need to stop lying to yourself. in essence, being confident for real is being truthful to you. Don't lie to yourself and like tell yourself that you do look good. If you look fat, bitch, you look fat. Do you look beautiful in fat? Yes or no? Do you feel pretty in your outfit? Like some people, your physical appearance could not change, but you know who you are and you do not need validation. So at the end of the day, if you know how you look and some of these things you cannot change, why seek validation? Just do it. Do it. Have that confidence, because sometimes people's outfits be wild and it works for them because they have that confidence. You know, like sometimes like you see confidence in all shapes and sizes, just like how you see people feeling insecure in all shapes and sizes. And it's the same thing. You know, a lot of people might not have the external beauty or the features, you know, that has been cemented on us through propaganda in Hollywood, but that beautiful inner soul does shine through. So like their features that they do possess just become as beautiful as they are, as they should be, because also your focus is now on their beautiful things that they have. But also, why do you need that external validation for how you feel inside? And it's negating your soul from reaching a level of growth. So you have to always remember to be resilient. Stop fishing for compliments. Stop being addicted to what people think. Be yourself. Stop comparing yourself to others. It would be your own demise and it's going to kill your joy. It really will. To me, I don't compare myself to others because I thrive in being an anomaly. I believe that I am an anomaly, am one of one, and because I don't have a twin, first of all, my mom did not give birth to twins, so I am one of one. And at the end of the day, hold on. Weren't we all taught this in school? That when you get up your fingerprint and you go like blue fingerprint, don't they teach you that no one out there in the world is going to have your fingerprints but you? So in essence, isn't that like just confirmation enough for you to know that you are one of one? So why can't you just realize that there is no one out there like you, and it never will be, and there shouldn't be. It is okay for you to have your own ideas and for others to have their own ideas. It's okay for them to dress this way and for others to dress that way. Just do it with happiness, because that will lead to your confidence. They're all connected. Just be comfortable in who you are. You're one of one. Anyways, this is something I believe and I thrive in that. And I actually think that for me, there's no competition. There's no comparison. To me, competitions don't exist. I believe people are on a journey. Like, that is her journey. That is their journey. Like, those are their blessings. Just because they're getting a blessing, it doesn't mean that I am just, now there's going to be less blessings for me. No, never. Just because they're getting something that I'm not getting doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for me. So, in essence, I don't want to weaken my soul because I am comparing myself to others. So I see that there's no competition. There's different journeys. People go on different paths. They have to learn different things down the road. People go through different roads all the time. And they have to do that so they could become, in essence, like a better human and get to the finish line so they could become a humble person. Sometimes people get, crazy wealth, for example, and they lose it all because that was in their journey, because the lesson was in that, right? I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. But The last thing about having confidence is having disciplines. So you have to be it, believe it, and you have to repeat it. So when you have discipline, you have to realize that consistency is key. You have to keep at it and you have to be honest. Honesty is key. Never, ever, ever lie to yourself. There will always be truth, and there's always power in truth. The truth is power. So be true to who you are. You know, I don't know, like, for me, I have a different belief than other people. Like, I do not believe in plastic surgery. And I do not think that people should be modifying their bodies because of aesthetics. Because God didn't give you those things for a reason. You know? Like, you went there and get it yourself, and now you're getting complications. You know, now you're putting things that are not of the human earth. They're not like, they're chemicals. They're not bodily fluids from our bodies. They're not essence of God, our creator. You're putting them into your body to change your appearance for aesthetic reasons. And sometimes when I see people who in essence get, for example, the gays, because like a lot of the heterosexual men, they don't get surgery. They don't get plastic surgery. Like, if they're in Hollywood or they're in LA, they get Botox. They inject themselves with steroids because they're gonna work out. For them, being fit, having a six-pack is manly. You know, they'll get a hair transplant. Well, the parking lots be crazy. Okay, so they get hair transplants. I think hair transplants are a little bit less, you know, invasive than something else, but some people are not okay with aging, or some people just have really bad genetics, and I think hair transplants are different because they're still putting a hair follicle inside. They're not growing a synthetic plastic thing. They're not chipping their scalp with synthetic plastic things and a fiber is gonna grow. It's actual hair follicles that are recycled through their body. So, you know, sometimes like people have, you know, a BBL is so complicated. In essence, the surgery itself is extremely, like, you know, like, it's the most complicated surgery, the intense recovery. You know, it's like Hollywood recycling because they pull from your fat from all your body to, like, you know, give you a bigger butt. And in essence, you know, so is like, you know, like girls when they get their boobs done, you know, like they're like, it's silicone, it's plastic, it's these are hyaluronic like acids, like it's so many crazy things that you're injecting yourself with, like filler, all these things. At the end of the day, I believe men don't want that. I don't think they want a blow up doll. And then also for the gays who get the BBL, I'm just like, are you that lonely? Or do you really want to? I'm gonna get a little crassy right now, and I'm so sorry because I'm trying not to like use profanity or like foul language when it comes to like my show. But I'm just like realizing, I'm just like, a lot of these girls are, you know, getting all these surgeries for what? Because they're insecure. And for what? So they could attract other men? Like, men of what? They're going to see you as whores. They're gonna, like, they really are. They're going to see that you didn't see yourself with value. You didn't value yourself. You lowered your standards. You got surgery, and that is giving you what? External validation, because you didn't have the resilience. You decided to get work done. Like, you know, reconstructive surgery is different. You know, you got in a car accident, you broke your nose, you got a new one, different. You got a nose job because you are snoring and that's helping you breathing better, that's different. But you're doing things for external looks because that's going to increase your confidence within sometimes it doesn't, because then it's going to lead to actual complications in your body. One, two, you're going to have trauma, and it's going to lead you to a path of depression, because it's a decay of the soul to seek this lifestyle of just like sexual validation, because at the end of the day, you're doing these things to attract a mate. Like, you think his little wiener, his 6 inches, is going to be like he's gonna want all of that? Like, I mean, like, maybe he does, but then it's also like, then at the end of the day, do you want that as a partner? Are these the core values of your relationship, right? So, like, for me, a natural beauty, it's a natural beauty. God made everyone perfect, chef's kiss. And if he made you with some complications, then I'm like, you were here to learn something. And clearly, your exterior shell has nothing to do with your internal soul. And once you crack that and you get that, once you hack that code, I believe, you no longer need that. It's over for everybody else. Like, that confidence just will ooze out, because it's almost like for me, I do not need men, because yes, I am gay, obviously, right? Hello. But I don't need, I'm not looking for, I'm looking for a soulmate. I'm not looking for somebody to just have sexual fantasies with. That is not what life is about. It's a connection of the soul, and someone that I'm going to grow with and just build memories. And I'm confident that I'm gonna get that, and I refuse to lower my standards for that. I am not going to get have sexual encounters with 100 men. I'd rather have 100 sexual encounters with one man 100 times or more. It's just the opposite. It's just my core values. And I do believe that you need to just have integrity in yourself, because it's all rooted within, and that confidence is so much easier when you have a sense of who you are as a person. And once you feel once you get that download that it's not about external validation, obviously, and that you don't need this. You don't need the approval of others. You just need to do it for yourself, for your happiness, for your soul. And once you're a healed individual, confidence comes out so easy. So for me, my mantra that I wrote down for confidence is, that just took a weird turn. I apologize. Thank you for bearing with me anyways. But I did stop myself from talking, because I was just this is steering away from the confident conversation. But I wanted to give you my personal mantra about confidence, and I say, the less I care, the more confident I feel. And when I wrote this down because I care. I care about myself, and I care about the way I present to others. And I used to, at least, and that's something that I'm currently working on. So for example, in the beginning of the video, I did get a little vulnerable when I let you know how sometimes I didn't really like how I looked, or I didn't like the way I was being shown on camera or whatever. And I realized these are silly things, this is just exterior nonsense. I don't need to feel that way. I don't need to feel that way to succeed. I don't. I think I care so much about what other people are going to think. I think I care about, for example, sometimes I get haunting little commentary that people said in the past that actually tugged at my insecurities. And I've learned to embrace my insecurities and like just love those insecurities because they're in essence they're a part of me and they're a part of like, you know, once I started to like, you know, flip the script and flip it into like these insecurities are not insecurities, they're vulnerabilities. Like these are things that make me vulnerable, they make me soft, they make me human. Like I'm only human. Like I need to like always like constantly like remind myself like I'm only human, I'm only human, because it's the truth. um so like the less I care, the more confident I feel, because to me, I need to stop caring about that outside voice. I need to stop caring about the way I put myself down. I'm only going to care about like uplifting things that are going to pursue my future into better things. And also like I'm gonna like stop, you know, imagining things that like, you know, that I shouldn't even like be a thought, and they probably would never materialize into anything. And you know, sometimes I care about like, ooh, my, for example, I care about if I'm making anybody proud, like my family proud. I care about like what are some people going to think, you know? I care about, you know, what others who do know me will think, or I care about, you know, um having shame. And at the end of the day, am I going to have shame over something that I love, something that brings me joy, that is not hurting others? Also, am I going to care about what other people are saying? Because you need to come to the realization that, are they saying that because you possess something that they lack? Are they saying that because they see you thriving and maybe they're falling behind? Are they saying that because they're jealous? Also, you have to realize that, you know what, they said it. It's not who you are. You know who you are. You know the real you. So when they say things that are sometimes hurtful, you have to then realize a couple of things. One, did you set a boundary where that's okay? And if it's not a boundary that you guys have set, you need to elaborate. You need to like ask them questions about why did they say that? Why were they critiquing things? And if they're still giving you negativities and they're meeting you with more negative things that they're saying that do not make you feel good, you need to stop them in their tracks and then be like, okay, so what can I do about it? What is a solution they have? If they don't give you a solution, that person is your enemy. They're hating on you. Someone who is there to uplift you is going to give you solutions and resources. They're not going to put you down, you know? They have to see your situation that you're in and realize that this is your situation, but what can you do to make it better? What are your resources? So some people are haters, and that is just who they are. They cannot help themselves. And do you need to care about their opinions? You know, sometimes you have to realize that this is maybe God's way of showing you that you probably need to stop, you know, putting them in a higher pedestal to the point that you care so much about their opinions. And also, if you would not express yourself that way about them, why are they so comfortable doing it with you? Are they insecure? All of these things, you know, it's humbling to get negative critiques without any sort of like, you know, welcoming solution to assess a non-existing problem. So to me, I'm just thinking this person is not confident, they're a little insecure, they're jealous of maybe what I'm doing. And you know, when all they could do is, you know, join in on the fun or have fun or support you, they could support you. You know, like some people are so negative, and all they have to do is show up with kindness and support you and just uplift you and applaud you and just give you the warmest embrace. And it's just so hard to get that. So for me, like, I need to stop seeking external validation. I'm doing this for me. So like sometimes I'm like thinking, okay, I'm gonna upload this and no one watches. You know what? I'm gonna watch. The video might have one view and it might be me. And it's okay because I'm learning from this. I'm growing from this. And also, like, you know, like, the less I care, the more confident I feel. Like, I care about me and I care about my success, but I don't care about the outside noise. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about, you know, what you think. I don't care about what you think about my outfit or whatever, because like I'm just like, okay, what are you gonna do to like help me edit? You know? If you are not Law Roach and you're not a stylist, you're not Rachel So, you're not a stylist, and some of these stylists are not also like the best. They don't have the best outfits out there. You know, there are misses out there, but that's also perspective. It's perspective. It's so sometimes, like, you know, like working where I work, you know, working in retail, working in fashion, you know, at a clothing store. Sometimes people, like, I've seen so many different bodies, so many different, you know, woman ethnicities trying on the exact same item. And a lot of the times, almost a lot of them look good. Sometimes they don't look good, but it's, and I'm honest with them. I'm just like, let's keep looking. And I'm not going to be like mean about it. I'm just be like, it's not flattering for you. It's not true to who you are. It's, in essence, it's hiding the real you. And also, like, you look and feel so uncomfortable. And then sometimes when I see an individual trying something on, for example, a sparkly dress, or someone wants to try the shirt that I'm wearing, for example, they're going to feel so out of their element because they're scared to wear it because they might seek a lot of attention, or it might be like, whoa, like it's too much. And I'm like, no, like, it's like, in essence, like if you're shopping for a party, why wouldn't you not wear like a sparkly party dress if it looks really good? Like, I think like people are gonna be like, wow, I never knew this could be you. This is insane. Like, they're probably going to applaud you and embrace you and uplift you. Like, why not dress like you're about to like always like go for the Oscars or whatever? Like, I sometimes believe in overdressing, but it's, you know, that's also just me. Not everyone could do that, but some people are always like putting themselves down in the dressing room. They're saying, oh, this is just like, I'm not comfortable in this. I'm not confident enough. It's not me. It's not me. When I'm like, okay, if it's not you, it's okay. But in essence, what is it not you? Or why can it not be you? Because sometimes, like, when I'm having these conversations with women, it's always because they're going to a party or they're going to a wedding and they're saying no to the dress that looks good, but it's like, you know, it's their main character energy dress, you know, like in an essence of another word. And I think it's taking them out of their element. And I'm just there to like really build their confidence and be like, talk them into it. So I start storytelling, and I also try to like give them another like perspective and another way they could wear things like this. Because sometimes, like, I'm like, you are wearing this for like a wedding or your birthday, but some people will wear this to like literally dinner. Some people are wearing this to ride a plane. Like, it's fine. Like, people have different walks of life, but like, why can it not be you for one night? And also, like, I always tell people, I'm like, remind yourself that these photos are forever, you know, like when you're dressing for a wedding. But sometimes they're not going to look good because, and when they do look good, but it's just that they don't feel good. They don't have the right confidence. They're not in the right frequency where they're able to feel all right. So I'm gonna just like wrap this up and just like kind of like let you guys kind of like know that one, we're gonna talk about fashion, and we're going to talk about dressing and what to do, what to wear, little things like that. But we are not going to be able to talk about any of that if we cannot work on your confidence. So what did we learn today? We learned that you need to know to and the essence is in the definition, but I added my own little spin on it. So you need to like have a feeling, be in control of your emotions, to always be happy and proud of yourself and have trust in yourself. You need to be able to be confident. You have to be confident and have willingness to be able to be a risk taker. You need to be able to be resilient, be empathetic. You need to have authenticity. We're going to work on our body language. We're going to be more active. We're going to be resilient. We're going to be able to, let others shine, because when someone else is getting a blessing, it's not a blessing taking away from you. It's okay to share the mic. It's okay to share the spotlight. People don't like greedy people because you're confident. You're not a narcissist. You're confident, okay? You're confident. You're not confident. Oh my God, I don't want to get that bleeped. Oh my God, anyways. I mispronounced confidence because I don't know how to edit it out. But like, you're not the C word, okay? You are a confident person. So you are not a narcissist. You are a beautiful, good person, right? Like, I believe that you are. Okay, so next time we talk about fashion, a lot of these things are not going to work for you if you do not have confidence. So believe in yourself, be true to who you are, be authentic, and take a little risk here and there. With no risk, there's no payoff, right? So, and these are things that I'm always learning and growing and doing things. So obviously I'm going to finish off the episode with a poem. So I have a poem here, a poetry book, so I put it there for a reason. So this is one of my favorite poems ever. The first time I read it, I actually cried. And I don't know, hopefully I do it justice reading it. Sometimes I hear myself and I always see room for improvement, which is always good because I could improve better, but I need to work on, better enunciation, better word pronunciation, slowing down, creating emotions, feelings, things like that, which is kind of pushing me into my idea of creating a playlist where we maybe read a book and, we go chapter by chapter. And also this would encourage me to read other people's work and also read out loud, get into the fear of public speaking and just doing more things, because I don't know what happened to me that I feel I lost in essence who I was as a person. So I've always been a little bit confident, but I always feel sometimes it was a shield that I put on. So I embrace and welcome everyone, and I'm doing it myself too, that we gotta be confident, oozing out from within, let it come out, be the purest you, because when the confidence is coming out from the soul, it's just divine. It's just it's light, it radiance, it's resilience. It's just amazing. If you ask me, it's amazing. Okay, so this is one of my favorite poems ever, and This is called Love After Love by Derek Walcott. So something about the about Derek. So Derek was born in St. Lucia. He ranks amongst the finest Caribbean poets. He died in 2017, leaving behind a wealth of poems, plays, and essays. His writings earned him the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1992. This poem is about learning to love yourself again after the end of our relationship. So, before I read the poem to me, I'm reading it today because I want to just like encourage you guys and welcome you guys to be able to be kinder to yourself. I know that a lot of the conversation today was about maybe like, being true to who you are, but the most important relationship that you're ever going to have in the world is the one with yourself. So, to me, I am constantly going through like a metamorphosis, and I'm constantly always getting like a lot of epiphanies, and I've experienced in different multitudes, like an ego death, where that is the end of that relationship, the old me. Like, I was cleaning up my phone the other day, and I saw a couple of old videos, and I was just like, I can't believe that was me. Like, I could not recognize me. I was such a different person, and I couldn't believe that, like, I guess like knowing what I know now, I'm like, I was so lost. And I am so happy I'm like going in this healing journey, and I am growing and evolving and just becoming a better me. And yeah, so like I think for me, like, this is like, you could see it as the end of a type of relationship, but for me, this is a relationship about like the love you have for yourself. And I think when I was going through my camera roll and I was deleting a lot of videos, and I was like so willing to let go of a lot of things, and just like videos and photos, I'm just like, that isn't even me anymore. Goodbye, delete, 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 delete. Like, I'm like, no, like, it did not even happen. It's not even like worth a memory keeping. Like, some of the things were like selfies. I was like, oh my god, like all these selfies, like why? Like, I'm like, that's what we used to do. But I'm like, it's okay. But I was looking at myself, I was just like, wow, like I am so like different now. It's like so beyond me now. And I'm really proud of who I am, who I'm becoming, and how I am like constantly growing and evolving. So, Love After Love by Derek Walcott. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, who you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life. I love that poem so much. I don't know. This poem just reminds me of just loving life more and, not forgetting who I am as a person, not forgetting who I am as an individual, and just like pursue the happiness that I'm always craving. And it's just like whenever I read this poem, I just feel like it aligns me with who I am supposed to be and who I'm becoming. And yeah, like, I don't know. Every time I read this, I just feel like I really reflect on me and how far I've come, and just being able to shed that skin, right? I don't know, but I really love this poem. And I just love, because I would never be a stranger to me. I would never, like, I'm not going to be selfish, but I'm not going to lose my essence to, like, I guess, like, go towards, like, the do what other people want. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for me, and I'm not hurting anybody. So I'm being kind to other people. So, happiness will come, abundance will come, but the relationship that I have with myself, I think that's just the most purest and the most truthful, the most honest, and I would never lose that. And I just encourage everyone to do the same, okay? So, oh my God. Anyways, thank you so much for actually watching. I know this one was a long one. I had a lot to say, and I still could say more, but, I really, really appreciate everyone who's watching. And for anyone who finds me and supports me, subscribes and follow, thank you so much. And thank you, and I just do love reading poems. So, sometimes I try to find a poem that correlates with what I'm talking about a little bit. And, that poem, I feel like could fit in so many molds of life, but to me, it really fits with kind of like never losing essence of who you are. So it does encourage you to be a little confident. So, I say that all to say to, with all love. So thank you. And also, I do want to say thank you for, I guess, being in this journey with me. I appreciate it so much. I keep saying that on my description. I'm not sure if anybody's reading it, but I really do love it. And thank you for everything. So without further ado, I'll let you guys go. That is the end of this episode. Till next time. Next time, I am going to have another episode, and it's going to be not about fashion. So I'm going to think about what's going to be my next Reatil therapy session. So I might just talk about some how to dress. So let's do that, because I don't know how to edit things. But I'm trying, I also need time. And obviously I need sleep and rest. And, with how long these episodes are, who knows if I'm getting any. But I really love and appreciate, oh my God, that guy is so cute. There's a guy picking up food over there. Anyways, I'm getting so distracted. But I say this all to say that you should never forget, okay, to always be kind. So be kind to others, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. Okay, love you. Thank you so much. Till next time. Bye.